Everyone dies. Kings die. Prophets die. Warriors die. The rich and the poor alike eventually face death. It has been humanity's greatest certainty since the fall of Adam. But hidden within the early pages of Genesis is the story of one man who broke that pattern. His obituary was never written. His funeral never took place. His family searched, but he was gone. Not because he was lost, not because he was murdered, not because he escaped. The Bible simply says, God took him. Who was this mysterious man? Why did God take him without dying? And what kind of life was he living that pleased God so deeply? Today, we uncover one of the greatest mysteries in all of Scripture, the remarkable story of Enoch. Genesis 5:18-24, Hebrews 11:5-6, Jude, verse 14-15. To understand Enoch, we must first understand the world in which he lived. The generations after Adam multiplied across the earth. Cities began to grow. Families increased. Knowledge expanded. People learned farming, animal husbandry, metalworking, music, construction. Civilization was advancing. But spiritually, humanity was moving away from God. Sin spread from generation to generation. Violence increased. Pride grew. The descendants of Cain became known for their rebellion. Even among the descendants of Seth, faith was becoming increasingly rare. Yet in the middle of a corrupt generation, one man chose a different path. Genesis tells us that Jared became the father of Enoch. Enoch lived in an age when people commonly lived hundreds of years. Life was long. Generations overlapped. It is even possible that Adam himself was still alive during part of Enoch's lifetime. Imagine growing up hearing first-hand accounts of Eden, stories of walking with God, the tragedy of the fall, the sorrow of Abel's murder, the consequences of sin. These events were not distant history. They were living memories. Genesis records something unusual. At 65 years old, Enoch became the father of Methuselah. Then Scripture immediately says, after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years. Many Bible teachers believe this marks a turning point in Enoch's life. Perhaps fatherhood deepened his dependence on God. Perhaps God revealed something special to him. Whatever happened, his life changed. From that point forward, he walked with God. This is one of the most beautiful expressions in Scripture. Walking with God does not simply mean believing he exists. It means living in close fellowship with him. Daily obedience, daily trust, daily worship, daily dependence. Enoch's relationship with God was not occasional. It was continual. His life pleased God. Every decision, every step, every year. For 300 years. The New Testament gives us deeper insight. Hebrews 11:5-6 says, by faith Enoch was taken away so that he did not see death. Then it adds something remarkable. Before he was taken, he was commended as having pleased God. What pleased God? Hebrews answers immediately. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. Enoch trusted God completely. He believed God's promises. He lived by faith rather than by sight. Many people do not realize Enoch was also a prophet. Jude, verse 14-15, quotes one of Enoch's prophecies. Enoch declared, behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his holy ones. He warned of coming judgment against ungodliness. Imagine this. Only a few generations after Adam, God was already announcing his future judgment upon evil. Enoch faithfully proclaimed God's message, even when the world ignored it. Enoch's son was Methuselah. He became the oldest person recorded in the Bible. He lived 969 years. Many scholars have noticed something interesting. Methuselah died in the very year the Great Flood began. Whether that timing was symbolic or providential, it reminds us that God's patience has a limit. Judgment may seem delayed, but it always comes at God's appointed time. Then comes one of the shortest, yet most mysterious statements in the Bible. Genesis says, Enoch walked with God. Then he was no more, because God took him. Think about that. No illness, no funeral, no burial, no grave. One day, Enoch was walking with God. The next, God simply took him. Hebrews explains that Enoch did not experience death. God translated him directly into his presence. The Bible gives several reasons. First, Enoch pleased God. Second, he lived by faith. Third, he walked closely with God. His life became a testimony that intimate fellowship with God matters more than earthly accomplishments. God honored that faith in a unique way. Does this mean Enoch never died? According to Scripture, yes. Genesis says God took him. Hebrews specifically states he did not see death. This makes Enoch one of only 2 people in the Bible who were taken to heaven without experiencing ordinary death. The other was Elijah, who was taken up in a whirlwind. Enoch never performed the dramatic miracles associated with Moses. He never led a nation like Joshua. He never ruled as a king like David. He never built a temple like Solomon. Yet his relationship with God made him unforgettable. His greatness was found in his faithfulness. He teaches us that walking with God is more important than public recognition. Lessons from the story of Enoch. The story of Enoch teaches the following lessons. 1. Walking with God is a daily decision. It is built one faithful step at a time. 2. Faith pleases God, not merely religious activity, but living faith. 3. Holiness is possible in a corrupt generation. Enoch remained faithful while surrounded by increasing wickedness. 4. God's rewards are greater than earthly recognition. Enoch left behind no throne, no empire, yet God honored him uniquely. 5. Our relationship with God is our greatest legacy. Generations later, the Bible still remembers Enoch. Many Christians also see Enoch as a picture of hope. Just as God took Enoch before the flood, believers are reminded that God is able to keep his people and fulfill his promises. While interpretations differ on prophetic details, Enoch's life undeniably points to the hope of eternal fellowship with God. Millions of people have lived upon the earth. Kings have ruled. Empires have risen. Civilizations have disappeared. Yet one man continues to inspire generations, not because of military victories, not because of wealth, not because of fame, but because he walked with God. Every step, every day, every year, until one day, his walk simply continued into eternity. Perhaps the greatest question is not why God took Enoch. Perhaps the greater question is this: if someone watched the direction of your life, would they say, "You walked with God"? As you reflect on this, search yourself and your relationship with God. Will God be proud to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant"? If this story blessed you, remember to subscribe, comment, like, and share, as your support gives me the encouragement to keep bringing more amazing Bible stories. God bless you.